let's actually pause on that because you just mentioned basketball. That runs in the family too, and
Absolutely.
we got a whole initiative called Real Athletes, and I one of the things I love about you, and I think it translates into your career, but
Yeah,
you were a baller, right?
absolutely. At Barton College, played Division II basketball, won a national championship my freshman year.
Yeah.
I had a really good game against Duke my sophomore year because it was after we won the national championship. We got to play all the D1s that were in North Carolina. So I played against NC State, UNC. I was actually supposed to go to NC State, but Herb Sendek left and went to Arizona State. And so I decided my brother was assistant coaching at Barton College, and I was like, you know what, I just go there. They have a good team, and we ended up winning the national championship. I wanted to, you know, it was no guarantee for me to get playing time after Sidney Lowe came in and replaced Herb Sendek. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go somewhere where I can play, not sit the bench my whole freshman year. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, man, because then I got into the audio program there and they had a full old school SSL board. And so for 4 or 5 years, well, 4 summers, I stayed in that studio. And now I turned my house into that. And so basketball and music and entertainment is like this.
It's
And
the
you got
intersection of culture.
you gotta have that competitive edge because you gotta understand that within music, you can't give up. You gotta fight through. You gotta work out the plays. You have to make adjustments in the middle of the game, not leaving the game. You have to pivot and change course. All of those things are extremely important in life. And I think as an artist, I think it's I think every artist should compete or even try to compete and play in competitive sports so they can kind of translate the work ethic and the day to day consistency that you have in the inner push, right? Because you got to push past those nervousness, that nervousness. You got to push past that doubt. You got to push past when you see a 7 footer on the other end. You can't be afraid, and you got to psych yourself out and go get it anyway. So that means you can do the impossible. You got all those things in sports. It translated now. Translates
100%. Well, so
absolutely.
we're gonna take your career because now you're describing the intersection of right before you started getting at the music game, right?